I drank. Oh, all right. I drank the ketones that day, and guess what? I felt amazing. Listen, every single day before my very first packet of ketones, I was a napper. Raise your hand if the one thing you could use more of is energy, or if you're like, I would love to not hit that 3:00 wall, or hey, I'm a napper. That was me every day. I would turn the TV on and say, girls, mommy needs a nap. I just need you. And I would kind of sleep with one eye open because listen, they were babies at the time, but I needed a nap every single day. So I took this ketone, and I was talking to all of the moms at the homeschool conference, and I was jabbing away, and they were like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, I don't even know. My husband gave me ketones. I feel amazing. And one of my friends across the table from me, she was like, I know what that is. I know how those work. And I slid a pack across the table, and I was like, you should try them. And I tell you all of this because I didn't understand what it was. I was not doing the keto diet. And I want you to know something, that somebody invited you here because maybe you ask questions like, listen, I'm tired. I need some fat loss. I had a girl message me today. She just came by my house a couple hours ago, and she said, Stephanie, I've been watching you for a long time, and I'm so sick and tired of feeling like garbage. I'm overweight. I don't feel good. I'm tired, and I'm finally ready to try what you have. And what I love to tell people is, I was talking about this earlier today. Listen, let's not hit rock bottom before we help you feel better, right? And so I was talking to her, and I said, these are a tool. They're not a magic pill. It's a packet. We have lots of different flavors. You're going to put these in some water. And guess what? You're going to shake them up, and you're going to be in ketosis in under an hour. What does that mean? That means that you're going to experience better energy. I didn't have to take a nap that day, and I haven't taken a nap in 8 years. And I know you're like, oh my goodness, for real, even on a Sunday after church? Nope, I don't. Even on a crazy day when you're like so tired? No. Even right now when I'm like, it's 7:00 at night, and listen, I'm just getting started. I have to pack because I'm leaving tomorrow and I haven't packed, and I've got laundry on, and I'm fine. Listen, ketones for me was the energy that I needed. I have my husband that dropped 50 pounds, and I have been able to share these and help so many people. We'll talk about that later. But what this does is you drink it in under an hour, you're in ketosis. So your body's not making them, you're drinking them. They don't stop your body from making them. You can choose to do keto, or I have people that are paleo or Whole30 or eating the best, healthiest way they can. And they're going to experience lots of different benefits, which you're going to hear from Karen and Chris in a minute. But what I want you to understand is this pack is a helper. For me, I needed the energy to stay awake. I needed my mom brain, the brain fog, to go away so I could homeschool them. And I just felt so good. It helped me snack less. I joke with people and I say, hey, little Debbie used to be my best friend, and we're not friends anymore. And I don't have to eat kid food, and I'm not living off of macaroni and cheese. But in general, I want you to write this down, because when you're done hearing these stories, you can go ahead and learn from some doctors and scientists. We have a really incredible app called Prove It TV, Pruvit, Prove It TV. You all can download it. It's free for all of you. And you can go and search words like fat loss or performance. If you're an athlete, you're going to hear from our friend Chris. If you want to learn more about energy, if you want to learn about, they talk about a lot of sciencey stuff, which you might like, but it'll help you realize the power of these is pretty incredible. So I'm going to introduce you to my friend. I'm going to go with Chris first. Chris is going to share with you his story, why he drinks ketones and what they have done for him. So Chris Webb, why don't you pop on and share your story with us? I know he's coming.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for having me on. Good to see everybody. So when we first were introduced to ketones, my wife and I, she showed me a video, kind of funny. You all have probably seen the little campfire video, but she showed me a video and I was like, oh, that's the diet. And I was out. I didn't want nothing to do with the no cookie diet, not at all. And so then I started seeing them everywhere, and I was like, you know what, this is the drink, not the diet. And I was back in enough to research, right? So my wife and I, we started researching. And for us, we were looking to level up our athletics, and we were hearing some things that were triggering that. And then I came across 2 different interviews that were done with athletes, with professional athletes that were drinking ketones. And I was like, holy crap. And they were talking about dual fuel. They were talking about having carbohydrates and ketones as fuel for the in your body at the same time for the first time in human history. And I'm like, yeah, right, at first, right? So I started listening, I started researching, I started hearing the stories of how these were working. And I was like, wow, this is super interesting, because I was very familiar with carb loading for athletics. But I don't know if anyone ever runs or knows people who run. You could kind of overdo it, like on the goo chews and on the basically the sugar that you take during long runs or any kind of performance, long distance performance, that can really wreck your stomach. They wrecked my stomach. So this was really interesting, and we were excited to try them. So we did. We grabbed a trial pack from somebody, and Stephanie will probably talk about those. But we grabbed a trial pack from somebody. My wife and I felt them day one. We were like, holy crap! Thought it was in our heads. So day two, felt the same way. We were like, wow, we are in this. This is really rad. We had drank them. We had worked out. Felt amazing. And just never felt this way before. So all these things were triggering that I had, heard from these professional athletes that were talking about that's on the interviews. Anyways, so we started drinking them. And the crazy thing that happened for me is that I was the kind of person who I tossed and turned for 2-3 hours every single night before I ever went to sleep. And my wife was opposite. Like, she was out. And so I was just living in frustration a couple hours every single night. I had my TV set on a timer. I watched The Office, if anyone knows what that is. Like, I know every word, every episode, every season. And that was just my normal life. Woke up in the morning, chasing the snooze button, and that was just normal. And if we know our normal, that's what we know. So it was about 2 or 3 nights after drinking ketones that I was waking up in the morning going, wow, I didn't even, I went right to sleep. I feel amazing. Like, how when you plug your phone in and you wake up the next morning and it's a full bar green, like, that's the way I felt. And I asked Danny, I said, hey, do you know that have you noticed I haven't even turned the TV on going to bed? And she's like, no, of course not. But I did, right? I did. And from that point, we moved that TV out. It was a computer screen, it was a TV, moved that out of the room. Like, haven't had a TV in the room in 5 years. Haven't needed to. Go right to sleep, wake right up. So it's crazy. Came in for this athletic performance, looking for that, looking to up our game. And we did. And my wife has an incredible story as well with that. We did. However, I didn't know good sleep until I had it. And once I had it, I understood when people say sleep is a weapon, I understood what they meant, because waking up on fire, starts the ball rolling, and then having a ketone on top of that, it's like, wow, here we go. And it's been that way for the past 5 years. It's been amazing.
I mean, that's so good. So one of the biggest things I love to hear Chris's story is, there's a lot of people that want fat loss, but Chris wasn't there. Chris and Danny are incredible athletes. They run crazy races, crawl through mud, climb these crazy towers. They do things that I'm like, but they're super great. And if you saw their before and better picture, it's pretty incredible. I'm like, Chris is aging backwards, and he just has an incredible story. And that's what ketones do. So fat loss, awesome. Energy, great. Sleep and performance and muscle preservation and what it does, the way ketones help you intake oxygen, hands down there for anybody, old or young, right? Athlete or somebody who sits in an office chair. It works in so many different ways. I'm going to have you hear Karen's story because it's pretty incredible. So Karen, why don't you share with us why you drink ketones?
Well, hello, everyone. I would love to. My name is Karen Miguel Connolly, otherwise known as Keto Karen, and I live in Alberta, Canada. And I have been drinking ketones for just over 6 years now. And it was because I had just booked the photographer for our wedding, which was coming up in a couple of months, and realized, oh my gosh, I'm really fat. So I came to ketones for the fat loss entirely. That was my only concern. It was completely aesthetics at that point. So my wedding was about 4 months away, and I knew that being in ketosis was a great way to lose weight. But every time I had tried to do a diet, I failed miserably. Like I might lose some weight, but then I would gain it back and then some. Has anyone here ever been tortured with the and then some? Yeah, okay. I knew I'm not the only one. So my friend sent me that little campfire video that Chris was talking about. And it told me like how these drinks work. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Mostly because it said I didn't have to change how I was going to eat, right? I didn't have to do the keto diet in order to get into ketosis. So I was like, if I don't have to give up my beer and my pizza, then I'm in. So after about 4 days, when my order arrived, and after about 4 days of taking the drinks, I was not craving carbs and sugar. I was like, what kind of magic voodoo is this? Like I was a carbaholic before that. So this was very strange for me that I was actually like, my hunger was suppressed. And when I wanted to eat, I didn't want to grab pizza. I didn't want to grab a burger. I wanted to grab a salad. It's like, what is the matter with me? So I gradually lowered my carbs, right? I just started listening to my body, drank my ketones, listened to my body, only ate carbs and sugar sometimes, and I just ate when I was hungry instead of how I used to do it, where I'd see food and I would just eat it. So good news is that before the wedding happened, I had to have my wedding dress taken in twice. I had lost 30 pounds before the wedding started. So like, if you've ever been a bride, you know how exciting that is. But excited that I lost some, but let me tell you about what I gained, because that was the most exciting part for me. Like Chris said, his sleep improved. Man, that first night I drank ketones, first day I drank ketones, I went to bed that night, slept like a freaking husband. And I woke up the next day and I said to my now husband, babe, I don't care if I stay fat forever. I just had the best sleep of my life. He was like, okay, whatever. But I'm still sleeping like a rock 6 years later. I used to have to take an afternoon nap. I would come home from work every day. Otherwise, I would just be like a disaster to be around in the afternoon. So I did it as like a public service, really. So I would take a nap every afternoon. I don't have to take a nap every afternoon anymore. I wake up refreshed. I have energy for the day. I don't have brain fog anymore. And I didn't even know that I had brain fog until I didn't have brain fog. I was like, is this what people are supposed to feel like? It was amazing. And the best part is, like, I don't feel like I'm on a diet. I really don't. If I want to have pizza, I have pizza. If I want to have a beer, I have beer. I still drink wine with my husband. He loves wine, right? And I'm just consistent with the ketones and listening to my body. And I'm proud to say that I have lost over 100 pounds. And I've kept it off easily for 4 years, you guys. Like, this has been such a game changer in my life.
I mean, you guys, she's lost over 100 pounds. And I hope you heard that. Like, all of us will say it's not a magic pill, but when Karen says, well, I didn't have to give up everything that I wanted to give up, she didn't want to eat it because ketones help you with your appetite and your cravings. But if she decided to go out with her friends, she didn't feel guilty. You want to know why? Here's the biggest reason. Is oftentimes what I find is people will go on a diet, and then if they go out on the weekends with their friends, they go, oh my goodness, I messed up on a Friday. So here's what happens, right? One day turns into the entire weekend, which is fine. But that weekend bleeds into the week, into the month, into the year. And they don't have anything to get them back on track. So I tell people, listen, if you're gonna go out and enjoy yourself with friends, go for it. But what's great is you've got ketones to get you back on track, right? It's one of my favorite tools to use. So you went to the wedding or you went out with your friends, but then she's like, oh, I'm gonna drink my ketones on Monday. And then she didn't eat the garbage the rest of the week because you didn't have that pizza cravings coming in and attacking on Monday. So Karen, you have an incredible story. And I'm going to tell you, there are so many stories just like that, whether it's sleep or performance or energy or fat loss. Like, we have tons of them. So we want to invite you to join us. So the person that invited you here, I would just say this, get back with them. You can grab a trial pack. There's a variety that you can try. We have an incredible summer slim down bundle. It includes everything behind me. We have an intermittent fasting kit. We've got a variety of ketones, and we have our reboot. So we're going to be doing a summer slim down in July and August. And what that looks like is you get plugged into our community. It's a Facebook page. You get coaching, you get accountability. We walk you through and give you recipes and suggestions of how to eat better. Not like you're going to have to track everything. We're going to say, hey, here's a suggestion for water. Hey, here's a suggestion to move your body. If you really can, cut out some of the sugar and processed junk. Eat when you're hungry, not when you're bored. We're going to help you make these, take these kind of old habits and create old bad habits and create good, better ones, right? Along with our ketones that help. So when we're done, we've got a couple more things to share with you. I want you to get back with the person that invited you and go, all right, tell me your story. If you don't know their story, ask them. Also, tell them what your goals are. What are you looking for? And then get started. Grab a trial pack or grab the Summer Slim Down. There's tons of different ways to get started and they'll share with you. But what's so fun is this. People dive into the product. They love it. It changes their life. And then guess what? They realize there's more. And you might be like, wait, what? So I shared these ketones. And if you heard my story in the beginning, I had the packet. I said I was never going to share it with anybody. And then my friend across the table said, what are those? And I said, they're ketones. And I slid a packet to her. And she was like, well, how do I get some? And I said, well, I don't know. So I went home, talked to my husband. Remember, I promised I never would talk to anybody. And I dove into this like, well, babe, I love this product. And I'm a homeschool mom and we lived on one income and I never complained about it ever. And I never would because we chose to do that. But I also found a product that changed my life. And so my husband said, hey, there's actually an opportunity. There's a community. Did you know that if you share these ketones with other people that you can be rewarded for it? We like to say you're rewarded for what you share. Costco does not reward me. And I tell everybody to shop at Costco or my favorite restaurants or the movies that I go watch. Like they don't call me up and say, hey, Stephanie, we're going to send you some points for your ketones. Maybe some people do, but in general, you get what I'm saying, right? Like I was a mom at home that loved ketones and all of a sudden I went like this. It's selfish of me not to share it with my other moms because they all need to feel how I feel. So I dove into starting to share. I shared with the moms at my mom club. I shared at the park. I had my ketone shirt on. I'm like, listen, you all need this. You're going to Starbucks. You're getting some sugary drinks. Like I just started sharing what was changing my life. And I'll tell you, my goal was grocery money. And my goal was we have a car program. And if I could get a van that wasn't held together by duct tape, which I was able to do, it changed my life. And so you're going to hear Chris and Karen's story of why they joined the community and what that means to them and how you can be a part of it because it's incredible. Like our company is all about helping people pursue their better. Like what is it that you want? It might be physical, but what else is it that you need? Is it financial? Would you like to take your family on a vacation or pay off some debt or bring a spouse home or you stay home? Or what, grocery money? Or would you like a van that's not held together by duct tape? Like whatever it is, we have systems to help you. We have a team to help you. You're not the keto expert. I'm not a keto expert. You don't have to be a social media expert. Like we get to learn together. So, Chris, why don't you share with us, what has this community done for you and why, what's your favorite part of it?
So that is a loaded question. But I'll try to stay super focused here. You guys, for me, this is seriously important. Because I truly believe that the majority of people who are stressed in life, who are maybe up in the middle of the night in life, aren't so much stressed about 30 extra pounds. I think they're more stressed about their financial future and what's happening, what options they have, what options they don't know, like just maybe just uncertainty. And so if you remember earlier when I said that Danny had showed me a video and I started researching, during my research, I saw that there was something called being a promoter and people were sharing the product and there was a rewards program and things like that. And for me in my life, I needed that. And I will tell you right now, I'm just gonna be completely honest on here. There's a lot of guys who look at this like this is like a chick business. This is like a chick thing. And when I was doing research, I kind of got that vibe as well. Like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. It's a bunch of girls sharing. Until I started meeting some people and realized that it wasn't mom's old Tupperware party. It wasn't a jewelry party. It was something that was completely life-changing. And when I experienced the product, it was day 2 that was like, you know what, this is it. This is something at least we can go for. And Danny was on board. And so for me, it was super important because I needed something, some light at the end of the tunnel. I'd had nothing financially that had a light at the end of the tunnel. My financial plan was just continue to work and make as much money as I can and hopefully contribute enough in the family. With this, I've seen an entire different world. I've seen an entire different set of opportunities. And the only reason that exists is from helping other people win. So it's not just about us and how much money we can make. The only way any of us win is by helping other people win. Talk about super fulfilling. So over time, Danny and we do this together. We have a great time. Listen, you guys, we have a nice house. We have nice cars. We're not looking for more things like that. We love to travel. Danny just booked another concert. You blow your mind how many concerts we're going to in the next few months. We're booked another concert. We travel all over. And something that's recently happened in my life, because I'll tell you, I struggled with what else do I want? What else am I fighting for? And something kind of entered our world that I didn't really know existed out here in Havasu where we live. And that was being a part of the search and rescue team out here as a volunteer search and rescue. And it's awesome because Danny supports me. I get to do this and I get to go out and contribute on a whole different level than I've ever done before. And I get to learn a bunch of rad rope shit and go out and in the desert and go do amazing stuff and out on our lake. And it's just rad. So excuse my language on all of this, but I get excited and I get passionate about this because our lives are completely different. And I'll tell you what, my mindset, because of this community and because of everything that this community has introduced me to, is completely different. There's no losing. There's only going forward. There's only growing. And doing this together as a community has been the most rewarding thing that my wife and I have ever done.
I love it. I love it. You want to know what's so fun is we've gotten to know Chris and Danny so well. They just became grandparents recently. So Danny gets to stay home with her grandson. So she gets to help with that, which she didn't get to do because she ran 7 restaurants prior to prove it. And I've recently been watching Chris and I'm like, isn't it cool that you get to do something from home with your wife and then you can go save lives? Like he's on this search and rescue team that you don't have to, try to make an income from because you get to go volunteer your time. I mean, it's pretty incredible. They have an incredible story. They're incredible leaders. And what I'll tell you is this, it's exactly what Chris said. Like this company feeds you personal development. Like they give us incredible events and things to plug into to help grow us as a person, not just a product. So we have they would say there's 3 different pillars of belief that will help you move forward in life. It's the pillar of belief in the product. Well, we have that. The product works. It's a pillar of belief in yourself. If you don't have that, we believe in you and we want to help you because we, like Karen, Chris, and myself, had to have people believe in us before we believed in ourselves, and the community has done that. And it's the industry. And usually what I tell people is sometimes people will say, oh, network marketing. And what I like to say is, listen, either A, you didn't have support in something that you maybe had tried in the past, or B, you didn't have a product that works. And our product works and our community supports. And it's pretty incredible. And so, Karen, I want you to share your story real quick, and then we're going to let you guys know how to get involved. Karen, tell me your story.
All right. I would love to. Chris, your story is so powerful. I just love you guys. Like, it's amazing. And I love to hear you talk about what you guys have such servant hearts. And I kind of try to not feel bad, like not compare myself to that, because your girl here is money motivated. I love helping other people, but I'm going to tell you, the whole reason I got into this was for the money. So as you guys heard, I was planning my wedding, right? That's why I started drinking ketones. And then it came time to actually get my vacation approved, my 2 weeks off to go and have my wedding and my honeymoon, and my work denied it. And I was like, what? We've been sitting around all this time, like talking and sharing my planning. And now you're saying I can't go to my own wedding I've been planning. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'll help you find my replacement. I quit. And I decided I wasn't going to stress out. I was just going to quit my job, go have the wedding. Everything was already taken care of. And then I would worry about what I was going to do when I came home. So when we came home from the wedding and honeymoon, I had started drinking ketones. I'd already been having some success with like just benefits I didn't even know about. And I was talking about it to everybody, and people were looking at the photos from holidays and going like, what is happening to you? You're shrinking. Like, it was amazing. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to grab a promoter membership. I'd already been sharing with friends. So people had asked me if I wanted to be a promoter. And my initial reaction was no freaking way. Because the only time I had any experience with network marketing is when people would send me like messages, and I would get like the same message, 50 copies of the same message on the same day from the same people selling the same mascara. And I was like, I will never do this to people. So when I came home, I was like, okay, this is different. Like, I'm already sharing with my friends and my family. So like, let's see if I can actually make some money doing this. So I bought a promoter membership. I didn't tell anybody. And I decided, okay, let's see if I can hit a financial goal. So I hit my first financial goal in my first month, and then I doubled it in my second month. So I was like, okay, I'm not looking for a job. I'm going to put some time to this. I'm actually going to tell people that I'm doing this so I can get some guidance. And then things just took off. So over the course of 2 years of me being consistent, not working like 8 hours a day. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'm not an 8-hour a day working 9 to 5 job kind of girl, but I set dedicated time. Right? Some people have more time than others. So I was finding time that worked for me. I was connecting people with other people who were helping me build a business. And within 2 years, I had dropped that 100 pounds, and I had built a business that earned me the car bonus. I have like my dream blacked out Range Rover sitting in my driveway, and I earn that car payment every month from sharing ketones with people to help them feel better. Right? Like, that is so very cool to me. And I had no experience, like I said, with network marketing, nothing. My background is I'm a music professor. I have a doctorate degree in music, like not health and wellness. So I had no experience, but when I didn't have an experience, I made up for it in enthusiasm. And once I told people what I was doing and asked for the help, like, I was very leadable, very teachable, very coachable. And I just did what the people told me to do. The people who were doing what I wanted to be doing, I listened to them and I followed them and I learned from them. And when we talk about the personal development that this community gives us, like, my mindset is so much different now than when I first started. Like, I used to be a negative Nancy. The ketones helped a little bit with that, but like, I'm very like, I want the facts right now. I need to be in charge of this. And like, my mindset has shifted. I am such a freaking positive person. And I can say that about myself now. And because people tell me all the time, it reflects back. And that is because of this community. And I will say this, for the past 3 years, I have been battling cancer. I have stage 4 cervical cancer. And like, my oncologist is like, look, you don't even look like you're sick. So I don't want you to ever talk about like being a cancer patient, like believing it, because we're believing that I'm going to be healed, which is awesome. But at the same time, that I'm able to work around my schedule of all my treatments and like my down times where I'm like struggling with side effects. I don't have to worry. If this was a 9 to 5 job, like, I would have had to quit or I would have been fired, because I just don't have the stamina sometimes. But this community, like, I don't want to cry right now, but like, this community circled the wagons and they helped me on the times where I can't help myself. And that has allowed me to keep this business going. And it has, like, the income has been very important to my family during this time. And like, I am so grateful that a decision I made 6 years ago is paying off so much right now.
You know, it's incredible. First of all, I have goosebumps. I'm going to guess all of you guys do too. Karen's story is incredible. And I love her, and I love your laugh, and you're so contagious. And that's what this community does, is they get to hold you up, right? When we all have life that happens. First of all, I learned something new about you. I didn't know that you were a music professor, which is incredible to me. So that's so cool. I'm like, what? So you guys, I want you to know this. We like to say, get in where you fit in, right? Like, if you've never tried the ketones, grab a trial pack. I had somebody ask in the comments, like, hey, what does it cost? Like, you can grab a 5-pack and give it a shot. You can grab just a box of ketones. The Summer Slim Down is 27% off. We have a Smart Ship program where your first 3 months, you get 15% off. On the 4th month, it bumps up to 25% off. You earn points when you buy ketones. You earn points when you've got Smart Ships and other people ordering from you. You get compensated or rewarded for sharing something that's changing your life, whether it's better sleep or athletic performance or 100 pounds down or you're money motivated like Karen. She's like, I want money. There are people that legitimately have joined us because they want an extra income. And that's not bad. There are people who like, I just want to change lives. And that's great. Like, it doesn't matter what your goals are, whether it's little to you or massive, or you want to do this part-time or full-time. Like, we want to help you with all of it. And so we just want you to know that get back with the person that invited you. Say, here's what my goals are. Here's what I need help with. The power of the ask. Like, you're going to ask them to help you. We all get to help you. We do Zooms like this where you invite people on and we share our stories to help you. We work together as a team. So get in where you fit in, grab your ketones. We have a $1 business club right now that's tied to 2 different packs, and the packs are incredible discount. And so they have the person that invited you has a $50 off coupon or a $100 off coupon. The pack is discounted and your promoter fee for the year is $1. That ends at the end of this month. So make sure to get back with those people, ask questions, get plugged into our community, and we'll see you on the next Zoom. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, Karen and Chris, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.